Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Welcome back to another Pro 1v1 match. Today, here we are on cold territory. Very beautiful and snowy map, very much matching the weather in the UK lately. April, supposed to be spring, and we've had snow for the first time in a while. And you're probably thinking, are these two players back? Up in the north, we have Google, or Googly, in the pink with the... was it USA Laser? We'll figure it out in a second. Some kind of a USA, I think laser. Down in the south, we have Easy Fargo in the blue, and he is playing with the GLA Stealth. Just quickly checking the army tab there. So, answer is no. Both of these players are not playing Zero Hour at the moment. Google is very much retired. I haven't spoken to him in ages. Do miss him, to be honest, because any super good player, we need them on the scene as much as possible. We've got the World Series 2022 already being talked about this year, and the more strong players you can get in there, like Google's was one of the favorites to win last year, or at least one of like the top three contenders or whatever with the route that he had. And so yeah, we do need players like Google around, and we need Fargo around as well. As much as I dislike his personality sometimes, we do need both players. But as of now, they're not playing Zero Hour. This is actually a few months old, maybe even, if we're talking years old now. But it's basically a best of 13 set played between them, and this is just one of the games. Actually, the longest game played between them both. We've got a technical coming in there for Fargo, but it had a terrorist as well as a couple of RPGs inside of there, and as such killed the dozer, but also the technical and the two RPGs inside of there. Typically, I don't like mixing those two things, terrorists and RPGs, because those kinds of things do happen. Google known for his strong USA and very strong micro, especially with these. And you're seeing it there. Oh, as I say that, he does lose a V to a static tower, so yeah, maybe that was not necessary. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty decent start. Just losing one dozer, you don't really need that second dozer. Sure, it's nice to have, because then you've always got that the added one back there that's protected. Because when that one comes out to build a CC later on, it will be exposed. But otherwise, for the next few minutes, that dozer is not going to be doing anything anyway. So as long as that fire base remains... the only downside was he lost that V, but that tower did get cleared up, and no aggressive tunnels from Fargo have managed to make their way onto Google's side of the map. He has shut that down that aggression there on the right side. Got a fast third supply here for Fargo. I think if you're going to win against USA, I think a fast third supply is a very good strategy. Dropping down more tunnels. Google has beaconed a tunnel. So yeah, there was a period of time where they were playing like best of 13 sets against each other like non-stop, and it was getting a bit boring for me to watch because Google was always winning. But as time went by, Fargo did do better and better, and I think he even won a few in the end. So this is just one of the longest games from one of their sets. But I think, yeah, you have to say Google is the favorite here. But he has lost a few Vs. But you're seeing Google's micro here. When he moves these Vs back, he's not messing around. Usually, it is spot on. He gets them back, gets them repaired. Look, even now, that one's like super low. Oh, what's going on? Okay, maybe I bigged him up a little bit too much. He's going to lose another one there as well. Yeah, Fargo's going to chase that. That's nice engagement there for Fargo. It was looking really good for Google, but then he just got a bit too greedy and was hanging around a little bit too long. I think it would have been more beneficial for Google to actually just pull back for a second and then push again when the Vs were back on full HP. I think Google just getting a little bit too impatient. But the reason might be is because he might know about this third supply already, see that Fargo is settling into the map and think, okay, I'm under a bit of pressure here. I need to actually push through now. Because if this area gets bunkered off, that area is going to be hard to push into. And Fargo's probably making a palace or a second arms dealer. Yeah, he's developing his infrastructure and his production. So Google probably feeling a little bit of pressure. Google is a player actually that normally likes to make a fast strategy center, but we're seeing for now that dozer is just being well and truly tucked in there. There's actually a hijacker waiting for him, with even the shadow pointing towards the hijacker. Yeah, so Google has no idea about that for now. Two Vs have gone down here from another engagement here from Fargo. Yeah, the problem is these stealth tunnels don't reveal themselves until you're actually so close that they can actually shoot. Google's V micro being put to the test again, but he does lose one more V. Oh, and another one. Yeah, so Fargo's had quite beneficial trades so far. That's 3 Vs died there. 2 died there. 1 V went down there. Ideally, you only want to be losing like 1 or 2 Vs, or maybe maximum 3 Vs by this point in the game, but Google has lost a hell of a lot and now only got 4 remaining, and Google's been hunted. Oh, wow. Google's been hunted at 6 minutes into the game. This is all going Fargo's way, so Google is only going to be on that V production now. He's still got a fire base and the bunker over here, but for the rest of the game, this is all the buildings that you're going to see from Google. He's not going to be making a strat. That hijacker was waiting patiently and found his time. It's time to shine. As soon as that doze left, the hijacker was ready. So yeah, well played there to Fargo. Google's actually ahead in terms of XP. It's still important to get to level 3, even when you're hunted, because you get the Pathfinders. But Google's going to... If he wasn't feeling the pressure before, he definitely is going to be feeling the pressure now. Google loses even another V. Is Google going to even be able to remotely win this? So far, he's not had any success. Apart from that epic start that I said there, it was about as good as it could have got, apart from when he got impatient with that V, but ever since, though, every engagement Google's been taking, he has just been losing V after V after V. Fargo's now got himself an oil as well. Another bunch of technicals, pounce, and another V goes down. Ambulance is going to be the next to be targeted, but Fargo is hanging around a little bit too long, lost every single technical, did take out 1 more V. 2 Vs for about 6 technicals, something like that. But Google looks like he might be able to clear this position now. The palace is up now. So buggies and Jarman. No, that'll be very soon. Another V goes down, but Google is slowly making ground, but another V did go down. Really, though, now that palace is up, buggy should be out, Jarman Kel should be out. Really, there should be no chance that Google can win this. But Google is gaining ground on this left-hand side. Here comes a technical, but Google was ready for it. That's another thing that Google is good at, multitasking. Good at keeping a group of units on one control group, and he'll be microing those, as well as another group of units on another control group, and he's ready for that TNT, because any building now that Fargo takes down is not going to be able to be replaced because of that lack of dozer. So another way of countering those TNTs is actually you can put a few Pathfinders scattered around your base on guard mode, so when the TNT does hit, 1 or 2 of the terrorists will get shot down, and it won't be enough then to take down that building that you planned to take down. So yeah, Google clearing ground. Is he going to stand any kind of a chance here? There should be a lot of buggies out now, because that palace has been up for a while. There should be at least like 4 buggies, but it looks like Fargo stayed on more technicals. There is a Jarman Kel out now. The Vet 2V gets sniped. There's 3 Vs in total there have been stopped, and Google has cornered himself here. Is he even going to be able to get in that building? I don't think so. Fargo's completely cornered him here. All of these Vs stand absolutely no chance. There's another group ready to go, but how is that going to fare against some vetted... Actually, a super tech. A Vet 3 super tech, plus some extra scrap, plus the buggies. Probably he's got another 2 or 3 buggies ready to go. He's got a fortified structure. His GLA Stealth. Is Google going to stand any chance? He is getting a load of Vs together. It's not quitting just yet, but... Played perfectly. There should be no way Google should win this. Fargo should be able to close this out, especially when he gets the worker shoes and buggy ammo upgrade. It's just literally all plays into the Stealth's hands. Google has gone for flashbang ranges. That's never upgraded. Out of all like the top players, you always see Google get flashbangs more so than other players. Typically, I don't like clicking on it because it just takes so long to upgrade. And it means skipping out all of the missile defenders. But Google is usually more efficient with his Vs. Oh, the Pathfinder even got crushed. Okay, he's lost his barracks. That's very bad. That is very bad. That means only empty Vs from now on. Fargo's force firing a little bit of snow here. Standard plays here from Fargo, but Google is going to push in. and actually closed down pretty much every single technical. He's also chasing away all of these buggies, and that is really an awful engagement if ever I saw one there for Fargo. And all of a sudden now, Google is on top of the production here of Fargo. Fast-ish Laserlock, but didn't quite get the buggy. But Fargo's going to lose his main base, but he is still everywhere else. That supply's dried up, though. Fargo's floating 10k and lost the main base. But Google's still producing, but it is just MTVs now. That was a decent TNT there from Fargo. Fargo's actually got himself a V of his own and loaded it full of RPGs. 4 buggies remaining. Now the preservation... Oh, actually 5 buggies. Preservation of these buggies now is ultra important. If you lose them, you could lose the game. And if you keep all of them alive, more or less guaranteed to win. But Google's actually pushing here now, but he's run into the biggest line of tunnels here, as well as the Stinger. Google is engaging the palace. Is he going to be able to do this? I have a feeling still not. Everything's stacked against him. He is taking down this palace, though. And so far, the micro from these few buggies alone have been decent. Fargo's now floating 15,000. One buggy they're going to get picked off is important because there's no palace anymore, by the way. And actually, the rest of the buggies here are now going to get picked off. Now that's going to get really interesting. That's going to get really, really interesting now. There should still be no way Fargo can lose because he's still got all that cash. He only has to drop down 20 million tunnels, and there's nothing MTVs should be able to do against it. There is still a fully loaded V here, this time from Fargo. You've still got more Vs ready. There is a case for should he be bringing them already to support this engagement? Rather than just fighting with a few, he should be bringing them already, I would say. But maybe he's just hanging around there just like protect his war factory in case another TNT comes in. Fargo's still got 15k. Is Google going to be able to do this? I don't know. It is Fargo we're talking about. But as I keep saying, if played perfectly, I really still don't think there should be any way the Stealth here can lose. Ooh, lays lock on the fully loaded V there of Fargo. Goes very low. He's going to have to go back inside of the tunnel now. Google's just clearing up what he can. There's a tunnel being built here. Another group of Vs coming in. Yeah, all this position is going to get cleared. One more V goes down, but he did evac the important missile defenders. He should go in that building, if you ask me. But he's not going to be able to because the Jean Michel. So it's going to get an interesting... It's going to turn into an interesting game, but still... Can Google win with just MTVs? They're literally all empty, apart from that one's got 2 units inside of it. That buggy's still alive, even though it's only one. This Vet 2 is very annoying. Sorry, Vet 1. They still took down the buggy in one barrage. Very nice. Google continues the push. Evac here from Fargo. Let's take down one more V, but another tunnel does fall. Worker gets stopped building a tunnel there. Fargo's building a new palace. It's still Google under pressure. Lays lock on the loaded V. There is a Jarman Cat inside of there. Jarman goes down. It's quite an important pickoff. If he gets that buggy as well, it's a very important one. The palace is going to get stopped here. We will continue in the push. Do worry about the health of these Vs, though. They're going very low. Fargo is holding on. But now, I'm surprised all of these Vs are still even alive. Yeah, very, very scrappy. But I feel like Google's got no choice now but to play scrappy because he's got no dozer. He's on a very limited amount of time. He's now collecting from over here. Whereas Fargo's been playing sloppy, but there's no real excuse because he's been in... He's had a major strategic advantage, the enemy having no dozer. And him being stealth on this map with this massively wide... There's loads of buildings and stuff that stealth can go inside. I feel like the stealth should have probably closed it out by now, but due to that sloppiness, the game is continuing. Fargo needs to get that palace up, and Google really needs to stop that palace. Fargo is now just making regular quads. He needs that palace to get buggies. Fargo does not cancel the palace. He does not get his 2.5k back. Palace now being built in the middle. And Google continues his push. Ooh, big pop there from Fargo. And he's going to focus down these Vs. Google's going to stay. He's going to commit to this fight, but I don't know if that's the right decision. Does he have a choice, though? Does he have any kind of a choice? Yeah, it's getting more and more difficult the longer you wait. Because these buildings, he has no more ranges, no more flashbangs. He's 1 MD there. Not really going to make too much of a difference. Google heading back over to his left side to regroup. I mean, even if it was just this mini base in the middle, still Fargo's probably favorite to win. And even if it was just that base, still Fargo's probably favorite to win. But the fact that it's both, and the Nova V gets picked off there, it's looking very, very, very bad for Google. There's a sneaky tunnel going up here as well. Yeah, Google's going to risk engaging into this bunker, but a load of quads pop, and because these are all scrapped and vetted and whatever now, they are very, very strong. All of these are going to go down, and that is the last fight Fargo manages to hold. So yeah, I thought it might go a little bit closer than that, but that was still an interesting game. But yeah, Google very, very limited from the beginning because that hijacker play from Fargo is very, very patient. Stole his dozer as soon as he came out of his little hidey hole. Suppose Google, if he'd have just scouted around for a hijacker, maybe put a V with a drone right by the dozer, or just scouted around a little bit around the supply to check, then would he have won? Probably. I think he did so well with just the empty Vs. Imagine if he got Search and Destroy and the CC and the support powers. Probably Google would have won it. So I think mainly it came down to that. But Fargo, having played him a number of times over the years and whatever, he does like to go for hijackers. So if you're ever playing him again in the future, if he does come back and play Zero Hour again, then always look out. When he's stealth, you'll definitely steal a dozer, and it'll be with a hijacker. I've seen him do it many, many times before. Boyka likes to do it as well, but I think Fargo does it more so than others. So yeah, always look out for that, especially when it's your last dozer. You don't want him to take it. So yeah, GG, well played. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and see you in the next one.